uNkulunkulu wathi bonke abangahloniphi ibizo lami bemele behlanjwe.
Yes.
Ubumba sisebenziswa lamadlozi.
Yes.
Emele vume phambili kwaMaria Kristu. Emele vume phambili kwendoda yakhe. Emele vume phambili kwamadoda onke la. Wena uzwa.
Inchito ya mwana kashi pano pachalo kuipelesha kumwaume ebufuayo bwakwaleta.
My name is Dinus Daisy Lungu, and I played Wumba on Maria KRISTU.
My name's Katawa Sande, and I played Tawanda in Maria KRISTU, the Wumba story.
My name is Poes Wilo. I am the director, writer, and main producer of Maria KRISTU, the Wumba story.
My name is Philomena Mwenyenyerenda, and I was playing Mama Ruth in the award-winning feature film Maria KRISTU.
Wow, I love characters. You know, as a writer first, I'm going to talk as a writer and then talk as a director. You know, there's nothing pleasing or nothing amusing than when you're writing these characters and they're coming alive on the paper, and then you have to bring them alive on the script or on set. The other thing I loved is that I made the characters, first I had to interact with them, know them at their personal level, you know, understand them, their strengths and weaknesses away from the roles in Maria KRISTU, but where they were coming from, their background. You know, I wanted to use that on set to push or to pull back.
Developing my character for me was not very difficult because it's a character that many people can relate to. I mean, Wumba's story has got very, very relatable scenes. Things that we see happening almost every day. So for me, it was just about doing a little bit of research and relating to the things that I have seen happen. And then, yes, with the help of the director who brought out the best in me, it was easy like that. It was not very difficult.
And after I got to understand who they were as human beings, I think we went into the process of character development. I love that most of them were so enthusiastic about the roles. They kept asking the right questions, they kept researching, and then, you know, it made everything very easy. Yeah. So as a director, it's always it's a mandate that you need to make every character in your film different from the other. And that was a bit challenging because, you know, I had like 80% women.
It was quite a taskful challenge, but I managed to channel the character properly and also understand what was required of me as a talent. And this also helped me perform in the way that I was required to.
They were all supposed to act in a different way, but still be women. So I had to trickle in dialogue. First from the writing room, I had to first develop the dialogue and the trends, you know, characteristics that they're going to have, probably body language or, you know, tonation of voice and all those things. I think those things really helped me when I got on set with them. Yeah, and then the other thing that also worked is I love that they were very competitive. You know, most of them were competing. I would say not in a bad way. I mean, like everybody wanted to bring their A game to their roles, and they kept, you know, researching and asking the right questions. And in the process, we gave it all our level best, and then we made a masterpiece.
Well, the process of developing the character, I did a bit of research here and there just to make sure that I'm in line and in sync with the vision of the writer and obviously the director who was going to bring the script to life.
The hardest and controversial scenes that we shot. As a director.
Wow. It was quite challenging, especially this one scene that we did when the church was burning. I had to be inside with the fire. I was a little bit afraid, but then I trusted the crew to do their best. And also the time I was testing the virginity of the girls, I felt their pain. Yeah, it's really very uncomfortable and demeaning for someone to touch your place, especially if you've not given them the adequate or the permission, the required permission.
We had sex scenes, and for me, it was very uncomfortable and so scary. So I found it very difficult to shoot that scene because, it was my first time being in a situation like that.
I had to go out of my way as a director. I think I had to push myself. There's a scene that I didn't want to shoot. The scene when Sandy Gatawa's character, Tawanda, was having sex with Bumba's character, Dines Desi Lungu. My grandmother was in the next room. She was a coach she was in the belly coach. And it was so unpleasant for me. But then I had to let go of Paul and focus on the outcome as a director.
Have sex with my wife. Well, I think the stature was, okay. I know in our African setting, sex is not so very open to talk about or even just mention. It's really hard. So it was one of the conflicting scenes.
Also, we had a scene that took us about 8 to 9 hours shooting it. It was in the night from somewhere 19 to 03. Plus, we had problems with power cuts and the likes because we're shooting from the rural areas. Yes, those scenes really gave us hell.
I think there's a scene that I had to call a choreographer to come on set to direct, Mr. P. Kachiwawa, a very good friend of mine, and a co-producer of the show, of the movie. It was hard because it involved a lot of fighting. There was a car bashing and, and we were on set like for as long as I can remember. Because we got on set on location at 17. Then we left location at around 03. And I think the actors at some point even lost characters. They just wanted the whole thing to be over and done with. I remember, a few of them complaining, like Vanessa and Dines and Innocent. They were like, "Oh, we're tired, we want to go." And then there was Donald who kept rolling in the dust, and it was very, very. I think it was hard to shoot.
I think there's the scene when my brother was chasing Nomsa from home. I think it was hard because it was too long, and then so I think that was one of the hardest things because it took time, and again it was also very emotional because I remember at some certain point I forgot that I was acting and started watching the performances of the others. Yeah.
The director, Paul S. Willow, he was amazing, and I feel so far he has been the best director I have ever worked with. Firstly, he understood us individually. I also speak for my other fellow actors and actresses. He was very accommodating, very understanding, tolerant, and a very, very good listener. He would coach us on some of the scenes so that we would actually deliver according to how he wanted us to. I really commend him. He did a great, great job. He's amazing.
Yeah, so working with the director was an epic moment because it's, I think, should be probably the 60th year, if I'm not mistaken, working together. And it was a momentous occasion because you'd see him grow from mediocre to, I think, I would say world class. And it was a very good experience. And then I think we have a personal relationship, and working with him, I think we forgot about that and then focused on business, which was a good thing for us. And he's a good director.
I made sure I did not have problems with anyone because then people should understand how to separate work and play. And the director is he's one of those that know how to separate work and play. So when it's time to work, we'd work with him. When it's time to play, we'd play with him. We actually have, a relationship. Yeah, very close relationship. So he made it very easy for some of us, if not all of us. Yes. His brains, he shared with us, gave us data. So it was very, very, very great. Good.
Oh, wow. What should people expect from this film? people should expect from this film lessons. They should expect rebuke. I came on to so many vices that are happening in society that did not stand well with me as a human being. So people should expect to learn. They should expect to dialogue. It's going to leave a lot of dialoguing within the community or within the audience, and it's also going to. I feel it's a. I call it a change coming, or a change forthcoming. I feel it's going to add a different feel to the Zambian film industry, especially the storytelling techniques and the acting and the whole organizing of the story. It's something you're going to appreciate as a Zambian.
People should expect a wow. This has been the most amazing, powerful, and strong story ever told, in my own understanding, in the Zambian film industry, because it has touched a lot of sensitive areas and it has actually communicated the necessary message to the audience. And I just hope we are gonna watch it from a perspective of trying to understand what the writer, the director, and the characters were trying to bring, because it is actually an amazing story.
I really appreciate the fact that the writer had the guts to talk about some things, because some themes are very sensitive. He talked about vagina rights, which are things that are happening. I mean, girls have been deprived of their own rights, and then people are scared to talk about it, and then he had the guts to talk about it. I commend him for that. Talked about HIV, early marriages, pregnancies, and everything. Those are very sensitive themes that, they needed to be talked about and were talked about. So, yes, people will learn, people will be healed, and people will have courage at the end of the day.
Let me say the themes are bold steps and quite controversial in a sense, because we are Zambians and in Africa, and there are some certain things that are considered a taboo and you cannot talk about them, and this film expresses a lot of them, and which is early childhood marriages and education and religion, and we are most prone to this as Africans. So the themes are so let me say thought-provoking and are very, I don't know what word I can really use to really classify or put them in one cluster, because you can't cocoon all of them together. So
we are premiering the first premiere on the 25th of September, which is the VVIP premiere at Sotambe.
It will premiere in Lusaka on the 2nd of October 2021 at the Metro Cinema, the Kids Lusaka. So be on the lookout. I'm sure you're going to be blown away. Thank you.
uNkulunkulu wathi bonke abangahloniphi ibizo lami bemele besihlanjwe.
Yes.
Ubumba sisebenziswa lamadlozi.
Yes.
Emele vume phambili kwaMaria Kristu. Emele vume phambili kwendoda yakhe. Emele vume phambili kwamadoda onke la. Wena uzwa.
Into ya mwana kashi pano pachalo kuipelesha kumwaume ebufwa kwaleta.
If she continues writing, she can be a very big author with lots of dollars. Then we can travel around the world.
The short story of the fisherman of Siavonga, You and Japhet Nyerongo wrote, was published by the school.
Oh my God.
Tukamipanika. Pakukana konka yonse amafunde eyo tumifunda kuno ku Maria Kristu.
The cult is coming for you next.
Onesimus, in a girl's world, there is nothing like escaping. We do not have any of these choices like you guys. Let's find a crew, get jobs, and end up sleeping 10 in one room. The world does not give us those choices.
azwisisayo, asihamba ngesikolo, asibhala ngamabhuku. This is our life. Sekuphelile Vumba. Your story is over.
My story has just begun.